99X, it's Barnes and Leslie music from Collective Soul. We'll play something new from the record. Can you get him back in here? No more other stations. Come on in.
Okay.
There he is.
All right. I'm back.
Ed was in the other studio doing, how many interviews did you do in an hour and a half?
Try to keep them 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I do that Mick Jagger thing, 10 minutes like y'all did.
Yeah. 10 minutes. Yeah, we had the only interview. And they're like, 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
That's it. So Ed Roland's here. Here to Eternity is available today. We'll play something new. We did earlier. If you missed it, he was here. We played Mother's Love. But we'll play something else new here in just a few.
I don't think we've talked about the Hootie and the Blowfish tour that you guys are on. Summer Camp with Trucks tour. Darius is such a cool guy. You know, I see him a lot here in Nashville, and this is like old home week. How did you get the call?
Well, my man, actually, I don't know if I could say this on air, but
sure you can.
Okay. My manager called and said, Hootie's going on tour, and they're looking for someone to go out with him. And I was like, of course, Darius and Mark spends the night at my house once a year just because he's too cheap to buy a hotel room. He just calls, and I was like, just call Michaeline. She's there. Just go to the basement. You know where to go. Anyway, so I know those guys. So I called him. Management's like, well, call him. So I called him and I said, hey, guys, we'd love to tour with y'all this summer. You know, we've known each other for 30 years, basically, before even Edwin McCain. Like, we've known each other before we were all signed, and we all got signed to the same label. But I will say this. I did use the sales pitch. I was like, you know what? You know, everybody's going to hear, hold your hand. I want to hold your hand. I said, that's going to be great. But if you got Collective Soul up there, they might want to go home and spank some ass.
Ooh.
And they went, that is the worst and best pitch I've ever heard in my life.
What a pitch.
What a commercial. They might spank some ass.
Because we talk like that. We know each other like that. We call it bus talk or band talk, if that makes sense.
That's so funny.
I want to hold your hand. We'll get a little dirtier than that. We'll get a little grease in there for you boys.
You might want to stick to songwriting and not marketing. I'm thinking.
That's really fun.
We got on the tour.
True.
We got on the tour.
It's a pitch.
No,
I think it was more. I think they might have felt sorry for me. I don't know.
Leslie, I wanted. Something came up the other day at lunch, and I don't know the end of the story because I just put my hand up and I said, stop. You're coming on the show Friday. Just wait. So we're having sushi at Nova over in Buckhead. Love that place. And we're just talking about stuff, you know, and there was a lull in the conversation for a second, and Ed just looked up and said, what'd you say to me?
I said, do you want to go to Thailand with me for a month and learn to meditate with the monks?
You said, hey, so I hung out with some monks last night.
I went. I did. I started by that. I meditated with some monks.
That's it,
I love meditation, and I do the TM. But
now,
hold on.
No, you're going right to the source. No, go ahead.
So I know, Barnes. Hush.
It's just funny. You came out of nowhere.
I know.
First, you're talking about slapping some ass, and now you're like, hey, I had.
Now he's all zen on us.
I was with monks last night.
It's a kind slap. It's a very meaningful
slap.
So I asked a friend yesterday, or before we had lunch, the day before we had lunch, if he would like to go to Thailand, because I found out you could go to Thailand and go to one of their temples for a month and just meditate, you know, just kind of, I know I'm going crazy here, but like.
And a lot of ass slapping too, by the way.
No.
In Thailand.
Barnes, no.
This is actually really important, Barnes.
I know.
I'm listening.
So I called my first friend the night I realized that I may want to do this. I do want to do this. And his reaction was 100% no. So I'm having lunch with Barnes, and I'm like, hey, Barnes, you know,
why don't you come with me?
Why don't we go to Thailand for a month?
No. See, the thing about Ed Roland is he gets on these little things, and all of a sudden they become a thing. Like, you didn't know anything about any of that, right, before, and then all of a sudden you're like...
Not with the meditation with monks, but the meditation I've been doing for 10 years, I believe.
But not with monks.
Meditation is great. I do have a question for you, though, Ed.
Okay.
You know about the meditation in silence. A lot of people go on these retreats for 10 days or whatever, and they don't speak. Would you ever do that?
Well, that's what you would do for a month, yeah.
You would no speaking for a month. Don't invite Barnes.
That'd be the greatest vacation with Barnes I've ever had.
He's got a million of them. Oh my gosh.
Meditation and silence. No, it's got to be really great for stress and just overall wellness.
I'm not here to preach it or anything like that.
Get it.
And once again, the Buddhism is not preaching. It's just a lifestyle to really, the way they describe it, which they described to me, was great. Like, you take a shower multiple times a week. It's basically showering your mind and your soul, if that makes sense. That's the analogy they use, which I love that analogy. Like, you don't want to go a week without showering. Why would you go week or weeks without just cleansing your mind?
And it improves everything, right? From depression, anxiety.
I can tell you,
stress.
My wife knows when I don't meditate that day. I can tell you that's on. She goes, "You didn't meditate today," because
she knows.
She knows. And so,
that's amazing.
So here's another thing about Ed. So I want to talk about this. Are you going to get mad about the airport story?
No, not at all.
Okay. So
I want to hear this.
He says to me with a complete straight face, "You should join this club." I don't even know what it's called.
Called PS. Ring the bell.
Okay.
PS. Ring
at
the bell.
The airport. Will you pay how much to join?
There's different levels, but I think I paid $1,200
a year. And then, Leslie, it's some fancy, pre-flight. What happens?
Well, you show up. They take your luggage. You have any kind of food, drinks, whatever you want, and they take care of your luggage. And you go through just one simple TSA. There's just one guy there, so you just go through real quick. You never see the Hartsfield Jacksons. Mm-hmm. You never see that. And then they drive you in a nice car, and you're the first one on the plane.
Okay, Leslie, ask him how much that is.
So, actually, it sounds pretty.
No, but ask
pretty
him.
decent.
Ask him how much it is.
How much is it?
Good question, Leslie.
It's $800 a trip.
800 one way. And how many times a year do you fly?
Wow.
A lot.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what number that is, but
who goes to the airport?
I think they're going to build. They're doing one in Dallas. They have one in L.A. The reason I found out about it was Slash called me from L.A. telling me about it.
Name dropper, but still.
Well, it's Slash. I'll name drop him all day long.
Who goes to the airport to have like a party? Don't you just go to go? Like, I go to the airport and I'm like, I go and maybe have one Diet Coke and then out.
It's the whole experience, I guess.
Yeah, once again, go back to meditate. The airport stressed me out. Just going through TSA stresses me out. It really does.
Big
See if this helps his stress.
I know. Either I pay for that or I got to go to therapy 3 times a week.
See,
I mean, seriously,
that's more than $800.
I know. And then I get free food, free drinks. It works out just perfectly.
And your wife approved it.
She finally went with me on one trip, and she's like you. She doesn't understand the financial side. It bothers her that it's that much. I, on the other hand, realized that I would, if I could feel that good flying, I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well,
yeah.
Life's too short.
Well, Leslie, we better play another song because he's going to need some more mailbox money. The new album
to
here.
Pay for my price.
Let's pay for this guy to get his caviar. Here to Eternity is the new Collective Soul record. Leslie, I know you've been spending time with it. Dealer's choice, what would you like to play?
I really like Bluer Than So Blue.
I agree with you. Let's play it.
You like that? Let's do it.
You hang out a few more minutes?
I'm here, baby.
Here we go. Let's check this out. It's new Collective Soul. You're listening to it first and only on 99X. Bluer Than So Blue. That is new Collective Soul. Here to Eternity is out today. It's Barnes and Leslie on 99X with Ed Roland. That's a good ditty right there.
Thank you. I really enjoyed. That was one of the first ones in the second batch that I wrote. Kind of was listening to the Stones, kind of getting into that vibe of just being a little open lyrically.
You know what, Leslie, we should get from him at some point? I think you've been on our airwaves coming up on 20 years worth of... You know how Conan O'Brien got Jack White to write a theme? I think we need a Morning X theme.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I'm on that. Get that AI thing back
exactly.
up. Just
like 20 seconds.
Okay.
Like,
I
we
would
know
love
how
to.
prolific you are. Let's do it.
Because, he plays it to open up every show. We could start a new thing.
I would
Let's
love
get
that.
this done before like the tour starts.
But Leslie's giving you homework.
I know. Thanks.
I was just
there's a
being
lot
vague.
happening. You don't want to do it,
I
or
was
you want to
being
do it?
vague.
I'd love to do it. Thank you, Professor.
I was just saying, if you want something to do, because you crank out songs like it's nothing. So the new album is amazing. Pick it up however you pick up your
Yes.
musics, because there's vinyl, right? I know you brought one in. Thank you.
I'm all vinyl. So anywhere you can listen to it, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Here to Eternity is the new Collective Soul. That's Ed Roland. Have a great day, sir, and have a great tour with Hootie.
Thank you.
Thanks,
we
Ed.
look forward to
I'll
seeing
give
you
my love to
soon.
Hootie and Edwin from y'all.
Please do it. Ed Roland, Collective Soul. This is 99X.